It's Bears on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the like.
It's time for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears to be aggressive to really take care of this key area of need prior to the start of the NFL season. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bears fans, before I go any further with today's episode of Keek on the Mic, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that's DraftKings Sportsbook. We are so close to the new NFL season, and the anticipation is at an all-time high. And for this season, Keek on the Mic has teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook. I have always loved the thrill of sports betting, and this season, DraftKings Sportsbook has taken the fun to a whole new level. Check out this insane deal, football fans. New bettors who only bet $5 will instantly get $300 in bonus bets. To me personally, that deal is absolutely insane, especially for a person like me that loves to bet on their team every single week. Football fans, not only will you get the thrill of live betting when you're betting through DraftKings Sportsbook, you can actually make live bets in progress when the games are actually happening. So if you guys are like me and just love the thrill of live betting, DraftKings has definitely got you covered for this NFL season. So if you want to join the fun this season through DraftKings Sportsbook, make sure you click the link in the description of today's video and join using my promo code KEEK. And trust me, football fans, you guys will definitely thank me later. First and foremost, Bears fans, I would say happy Friday to every single one of you guys, but today is a very somber day for the Chicago Bears fan base, as the Green Bay Packers fans are now rejoicing as they pulled off the blockbuster trade for edge rusher Micah Parsons. And I'll be completely honest with you, when I saw the news from Ian Rappaport that the deal was finalized and then they extended him to that massive 4-year, $188 million contract, my heart dropped a little bit because it's a big time move for Green Bay. I understand why they did it. They're all in. They're trying to win a Super Bowl. We'll see if they're able to accomplish that or not. Obviously as a Bears fan, I hope that is not the case. But before we move forward on today's episode of Keek on the Mic, I just want to check in on you guys. How are you guys truly feeling that the Green Bay Packers were able to land Micah Parsons? Do you feel like it changes anything within the NFC? Do you think it changes anything within our own division in the NFC North or between our matchup between the Packers as well? Personally, I know there's a lot of people really frustrated or pissed off at Ryan Poles right now, saying, I can't believe you let the Green Bay Packers get him. Obviously, I was a big advocate for Ryan Poles to really pull the trigger and land a guy like Micah Parsons, because I understood that, within this window, talking about Caleb Williams' rookie window, these are the type of moves that you make. Of course, we do have a need at the edge rusher position, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But in the same breath, we've been down this road before. Obviously, it wasn't during the Ryan Poles era, but we've been down this road before as Chicago Bears fans. Back in 2018, we landed edge rusher Khalil Mack, signed him to a big-time extension, and he obviously made an instant impact. And if we're going back in time, if Cody Parkey was just able to make that kick, who knows what that 2018 Bears team could have done? Maybe an NFC Championship appearance. Maybe they end up going to the Super Bowl. Maybe they end up winning the Super Bowl. We never know. But all I know is when we got Khalil Mack, he made an instant impact on the Chicago Bears defense. But within the same token, Khalil Mack also put us through cap hell, which is the big reason why when Ryan Poles became the Chicago Bears GM, he traded Khalil Mack, traded away certain players that, had high cap hits to try to get the Bears cap situation under control. So as much as I wanted Micah Parsons, you're talking about a 25, 26-year-old superstar, a guy that would have changed the outlook of the Chicago Bears defensive line. But I understand why Ryan Poles didn't do it. You're talking about 2 first-round picks. They gave up Kenny Clark, and then they are paying him $47 million per year. They're also paying Jordan Love $55 million per year. So there is a lot of money within just two players, which may handicap the Green Bay Packers down the road. So they are going all in, and that is good for them. But I understand that the Chicago Bears are trying to build a consistent winner. Ryan Poles is trying to make smart decisions for the long-term future of the Chicago Bears. So as much as it sucks that he went to the Green Bay Packers, I understand that the long-term future of the Chicago Bears is more important. We still have many areas of need. Left tackle is still a huge question mark. Obviously, we still have a need at edge rusher. We may need a new safety in a couple of years with Kevin Byard getting older, and obviously Jaquan Brisker with his injury history as well. So there's going to be areas of need for the Chicago Bears. And at the end of the day, and we've talked about this many different times right here on the podcast, if Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson, and the Chicago Bears didn't feel that they were one player away, there is no reason to even entertain bringing in a player like Micah Parsons, because it would just handicapped us, and we would have probably been good for the short-term future, but long-term, it would have handicapped us in terms of cap flexibility. So if you guys want to still be mad at Ryan Poles, that's on you. But it seems that Bears fans can never be happy about anything nowadays. I'm looking forward now. Hopefully it doesn't work out in Green Bay with Micah Parsons. Hopefully we're able to hand them a couple of ass whoopings year in and year out. But overall, the deal is done. Micah Parsons and the Green Bay Packers, we need to move on as Chicago Bears fan and just support the decisions that Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson, and the Chicago Bears make moving forward. With that being said, though, I can't be naive to the fact, Bears fans, that the Chicago Bears have a massive need at the edge rusher position. I want to show you a graphic of the 53-man roster and just showing the defensive line and just showing you that it is truly a weak point on the Chicago Bears roster. Of course, I like the group of defensive tackles that we have in Andrew Billings, Javon Dexter, Grady Jarrett, Shamar Turner, and Chris Williams. I do think, we will probably have a better run defense in regards to the interior. And obviously Javon Dexter and Grady Jarrett, even Shamar Turner, can be flexible and not only play with inside the defensive line, but probably outside at the edge rusher spot as well, and just show that versatility. And that's one of the reasons why Ryan Poles and the Bears are so high on guys like Javon Dexter, Grady Jarrett, and Shamar Turner. And then obviously Andrew Billings, when he went down, the Bears took a massive blow to their run defense. He is definitely one of the better run defenders on this defensive line. So it's going to also be good to have him back as well. So I'm not complaining about the D tackles that we have, but when you look at the edge rushers that the Chicago Bears currently have on this roster, that is where I'm a little bit concerned as a Bears fan. And that's why there was a lot of people saying that the Chicago Bears should have went all out and got Trey Hendrickson or Micah Parsons. Obviously at this moment, we missed out on both. Now, when you're looking at the state of the Chicago Bears edge rushers, you have, of course, Montez Sweat. You have Dayo Odeyingbo. You had Austin Booker, but he's currently on IR. He'll miss the first 4 games. You have Daniel Hardy as well. And you also have Dominique Robinson. So after Montez Sweat, right, and he's supposed to be our number 1 edge rusher, and even last season he was underwhelming, there's not a lot of confidence in the edge rushing room here in Chicago. So I am now pleading to Ryan Poles. I forgive you for not going out and getting Micah Parsons. I understand why you didn't want to get Trey Henderson. You're not trying to overpay because you're trying to protect the long-term future and success of this organization. But I am pleading with you at this moment in time that you need to go out there and be aggressive and go out and get Za'Darius Smith. At this point, he is your only option that can truly come in and make an instant impact. For the last couple of years, he's been very consistent. 9 sacks in 2024, had 63 total pressures, and posted a 76.5 pass rush grade. To put what he was able to do in 2024 and compare it to the edge rushers that we currently have on the roster, Montez Sweat had 5.5 sacks in 2024, 49 total pressures, and posted a 67.6 pass rush grade. When you're looking at Dayo Odeyingbo, the new $48 million man on this Bears defensive line, he only posted 3 sacks in 2024, 42 total pressures, and a 65.5 pass rush grade as well. Once again, Austin Booker had a really good preseason, but he's now on IR for the first 4 games. Dominique Robinson has only had 2 sacks in 3 full seasons with the Chicago Bears. And then Daniel Hardy has 0 career sacks in 23 career games. So yes, Ryan Poles and the Bears definitely need to address the edge rusher position. Here is the only thing that I can consider. We may need to just have more faith in Dennis Allen. Maybe Dennis Allen is able to get the most out of Montez Sweat, Dio Dangbo, and Dominique Robinson, Daniel Hardy as well. When you look in 2023, Montez Sweat had 12.5 sacks. When you look in 2023, Dio Dangbo had 8 total sacks. So if those guys are able to post those kind of numbers, maybe we will be all right. But at the same time, Montez Sweat and Dio Dangbo haven't been consistent double-digit sack guys, right? So can Dennis Allen get those guys to that level? Yeah, possibly so. Will the defensive tackles and like Javon Dexter, Grady Jarrett, and Shamar Turner maybe help Montez Sweat and Dio Dangbo reach their ceiling? Possibly so. But I personally don't want to trust that going into the new season. I think good reassurance will be Za'Darius Smith, a guy that has been still playing at a high level. Even at 32 years old, he has that connection with Ben Johnson dating back to the Detroit Lions days. To me, it makes all the sense in the world, especially after missing out on Micah Parsons and Trey Hendrickson. At this point, this seems like the Chicago Bears' only option. So if I were Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears, I think it's time for the Bears to be aggressive. If they are just going to trust what we have on this roster, to each its own, hopefully when Austin Booker comes back, after his 4-game IR stint, maybe he will, light a fire in this defensive line. But even then, that's even a risk because he hasn't proven it in the regular season. Yeah, he's been a preseason hero, but can that translate to the regular season when you're going against the starting opposing offensive lines on a consistent basis, right? So overall, I'm not mad at the defensive tackles, but Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears need to really consider being extra aggressive at this point for Za'Darius Smith, just for maybe a year option, and then re-engage in the offseason and maybe adding a true game changer, not only in free agency, but maybe making that your focus in the NFL draft as well for next offseason. So Bears fans, let me know down below if you guys agree with me. Do you think Za'Darius Smith would be a no-brainer option for the Chicago Bears? Or do you think they are set at edge rusher and you're just comfortable and maybe just have more trust in Dennis Allen going into this new season? Let me know down below what you're thinking in the comment section. But as always, Bears fans, make sure you guys continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Keek on the Mic with every single Bears that you know. And make sure you also hit the link in the description of today's video and use promo code Keek to go to DraftKings and start having fun on live betting today. But as always, Bears fans, I'll catch you next time on the next episode of Keek on the Mic. And as always to you guys, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the mic. You can go and subscribe cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the mic.